Welcome, folks, to Returners Hideout number 321, Strength of Our Bonds. We are back. We are back from the cold, snowy north of Pittsburgh. It is 61 degrees Fahrenheit here in Raleigh, North Carolina today, and I could not be happier to be home. Although it was such a wonderful event this weekend. Everybody, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. We are here. Aiden, welcome. So nice to hang a little this weekend, dude. Amar as well. Brother, good to see you this weekend. And thank you so much for such a well-run event. I have not yet had the time to sit down and go back and watch the games. I don't know how much I want to relive my luck in some of those stream matches, but you know, I'm sure the other games are great to watch, a lot of fun. I want to catch up those gunslinger matches. It'll be fun to watch as well. And in general, just vibe with some more Final Fantasy TCG event action, man, because you know, there's not enough of it. There's not enough of it out there to watch. So thanks for coming. Congrats on wrecking the competition too. Hey man, I mean, God, I'd be dangerous if I tested, huh? But you know, it's been a busy couple months, so I pretty much just I looked at the new set and I said, and I put 3 Schultz in my Dancers game. So, what happened with the last game? I thought you were gonna win it all, brother. Let me tell you, it was just some bad luck. I mean, you can watch the game on stream. I have a lot of ways to fix bad starts in my deck, so I do run a little bit of a greedy backup count. And of course, you know, if there's a game where you're gonna get punished, of course it's gonna be the one on stream. So you can see me mull into a pretty rough start, and then you can see me. I think I literally even say something out loud like, yeah, well, that's how it goes. Then you even see me like Schultz to fix it. Only have like 1 blue card despite only playing 3 off-color cards of the deck. 4 technically. Then draw 2 Schultz for the turn. Like just a bunch of crap. So my first 4 turns are really slow, and a mono fire guy gets to set up to 5 backups as fast as / faster than my mono water deck, which should be on 5 backups in 2 to 3 turns. Yeah, just not normally how it goes. So of course he got out ahead of me, and then it happened the same way it always happens. If we had 10 more cards in our deck, I would win the game, right? But the problem with stalling, the problem with not doing anything for your first 4 turns against the deck that's going to kill all your stuff and mill you out is that, well, they're going to kill all your stuff and mill you out. So it is how it is. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull Octagon up on the stream. But yeah, I'll tell you, you can ask my locals, man. Between card troubles and health troubles and other stuff, it's been very difficult for me to get out to locals randomly for the last few months. So, I literally played maybe 2 games with that deck list before the tournament. But you know, we play a lot of Dancers, so we know what we're doing. Was this the Winter Cup? Yes, we had the Winter Cup last weekend. Me, Alex, and Jeff, honorary RVA returner for the weekend. The Team Flat Earth RVA Returners crossover. We got 8th place on Saturday. So I was playing Mono Water Dancers, Jeff was playing Final Fantasy 12 Sky Pirate stuff, and Alex was playing Wall 7. Alex was playing a Giga Brain Wall 7 list, where also a guy who has not been able to play a lot of games recently did not have Tyvus in his deck, but still had all the Tyvus targets and like the counts as if he was running a Tyvus, so that's really fun. So, you know, we're out here, we were styling on people, that's what was happening. We're going to table 3, by the way, let's see what's going on over there. Sorry, we should get a game up on the screen. Then day 2, yeah, so day 2 I played Mono Water Dancers again. Only change was that I cut the Piranha and put the Atomos back in because Atomos is greedy. However, if you're trying to win a tournament where there is no top cut, you gotta play a little greedier, so I did play a little greedier. Unfortunately, we went 6-0, ran into an excellent opponent in the finals, a longtime friend of the stream and the cast, everything, Burden. My man, it was so nice to get to meet him. I had so much fun playing against him in the finals. I kind of didn't care what happened. Also, part of the reason I kind of didn't care what happened is because I was almost certain that I was going to get 2nd place. Turns out that tiebreakers are troll as fuck, so I literally got all the way to the finals undefeated, lost in the finals, and then I got 5th somehow. And their prizing was tiered as if there was top cut, so I got fucked. I didn't get the 2nd place prizing, I also didn't get the top 4 prizing. I got prized as if I lost in top 8, so pretty fucking stupid, and I'm pretty mad about it. but you know, I guess fuck me. Especially because the drop-off between second and fourth was enormous. The drop-off between second and top 8 was like a joke. But, you know, whatever. Don't know how much better I could have possibly done besides, I guess, winning. But sure, 5th place. You know, it just is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, meanwhile, dude, we're playing some cool Une stuff over here. I actually built a... Oh, no, this is water ice Une. I actually built an mono ice Une variant, something kind of similar to what Yurku was playing, pretty much inspired by that, but just like didn't bother to look up his exact list or anything. Just threw some, you know, hashtag good stuff ice cards into the deck, and had a lot of fun playing that in side games and kind of on the give it to Alex to play on day 2. A tiebreaker situation, yeah, man, that was fucking whoo. It just sucks because you know they drum it up like it's the finals, but it's, you know. Then you get you get 5th place prizing. You know, rough. The deck's good. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, deck is good for sure. Still the king of my... Yeah, see, dude, look. I refuse to say I got 5th in that tournament. I just say I made it to finals. Ice goes burr. That's pretty good. Look, I can't control my opponents, man. I needed them to do a little better, bro. They fucked me out of a gold stamp tarot, dude. I need to have a conversation with my opponents. Alright, Warrior Light. Yeah, I mean, it was like to the tune of a couple hundred, like literally, they took a couple $100 away from me because of tiebreakers. Literally, it was 6-0. I was 6-0 and lost in the finals, and I got 5th place. So I dropped down 3 prize brackets. I didn't get 1st place, so I didn't get 2nd, and I didn't get top 4. I got top 8. It's just so dumb. They really, it was a little, I mean, it was absurdly top heavy too, which is always unfortunate. This game has a bad habit of doing that. Mind if I steal your Dancer deck list? No, please steal my Dancer deck list. Everybody should steal my Dancer deck list. I've been playing this deck and talking about how well I think it does against a lot of meta choices. I think it's very good against people who are doing like Ifrit stuff. You know, typically very good against warriors, fire ice stuff, ice stuff in general. A lot of people around doing like Seymour stuff. Feels pretty good against all that. Your worst matchup by far is going to be like opposing monsters decks, especially Water Lightning. Water Lightning monsters is your worst matchup. Of course, I did have to play through Water Lightning. I knew I was cooked when I had Water Lightning against John Ciordia in top 8 on stream on Saturday. It's just, again, it's my worst matchup. They have so many outs to specifically what is strong about the deck. And then I got my revenge against him on his... Man, John has such a cool Water Lightning build with Odin and the new Emperor. And so, sorry, when I say Odin, I mean Dark Odin. I mean like FF16 Odin. And the new Emperor card and Sphene, like a lot of really awesome stuff going on. But of course, I had to punish him for taking me out of the tournament on Saturday. So we had a great game on Sunday, but I did win my Water Lightning matchup on Sunday, but then lost to Mono Fire, which again, normally pretty decent matchup for me against Mono Fire. I was like begging for Ash, dude, the whole first part of the game too. It's really tough, but you know, and in the end, again, it was really close, but we didn't quite get there. If I had like another turn, maybe, but he had enough stuff that I basically played out my last turn. Don't judge it too harshly because I knew that I was dead no matter what already on my last turn. But what are you gonna do? Just like, you got to kind of like go through the motions. I just kind of played the cards out and then was like, all right, whatever, man. Good, you know, good game. Shook his hand. Judge call. All right, brother, we're on the way. Can Hithlo bring out 2 Billy Bob to the field? They're both revealed in top 4. Both cards are illegal to play. Both come into play. Alright, assuming... Alright, so the question for Judge Call is, assuming that there's no Billy Bob, or sorry, can Hythlodaeus bring out 2 Billy Bobs to the field if both are revealed in the top 4 cards? And the answer is, assuming that there's no Billy Bob on the field already, both are legal targets. So you pick both targets, they both come into play, both of the abilities trigger for the Billy Bobs. Then both of them, due to a game state check, are immediately broken. And then priority goes to people to add things or to pass priority to resolve the 2 Billy Bobs target or abilities that are triggered. Or like, you know, then we get to stack those guys. But you know, Michi's saying, please steal my Dancer deck list. Feel free to ask any questions. Also, if you're taking my Dancer deck list, make sure they fixed. Make sure the Pinello isn't there. There's no. I did not play forward Pinello. Earlier the lists were wrong, and they had 3 forward Pinellos instead of 3 Blue Worm. But instead, it is of course Blue Worm with the most scratchable chin, the absolute damage 6, damage 7 specialist. Total killer. What was wrong? I think Viridian fixed it already. It had the like 2 CP water Pinello forward as if I was just playing like a blank 2 CP 5k Dancer forward. and as if I was playing Realm with like just the Tomos as my only 2-drop target. It makes me look like I'm an insane person. So I had it fixed. I think it should be fixed now. To show 3 Blue Worms. What's funny, dude, is people reach out to me about the Pinello. They reach out to me about the Pinello, and they go, they're more concerned about that than the fucking 1 2-drop monster target for the 2 realms in my deck. Oh, we got a Wall 7 deck. Guys, I haven't even been looking at this game. I'm sorry. I didn't put the names up either. On the left, we've got DJ Brock, and on the right, we've got Greg. We were talking Winter Cup. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I mean, honestly, again, you don't go to the Winter Cup for the prizes because it's not about that. It's just a tournament for fun to go see everybody and kind of reconnect during the off-season. And it got me hungry to play, man. I was supposed to get punished for not going to locals, and it didn't happen. But that's okay. We'll start going back, especially as we get close to this season coming back. Really did enjoy my time this weekend. Learned a lot. Mostly learned to read the card more. Yeah. The thing is, I think people also like. This happens a lot in my cops. I will tell people exactly what the card does, but what they actually hear is different, and they like make assumptions. So I usually will turn the card around and encourage them to read it, but sometimes people, I don't know, I guess maybe sometimes people think it's rude. But I always say, would you like to read it? Because trust me, you're going to want to read it. Obus 25, Cloud chooses to break it forward and remove cards from the break zone. He chooses Emmet. I break it in response. There's no target as a whole. Cloud, effect fizzle. Doesn't he target cards in the break zone? So as long as he still has a target, let me read him. Choose up to 2 cards of your opponent's break zone. Alright guys, so this is actually a, this judge call is a continuation of the thing that we talked about last week, so, about multi-select for different modes. So, Cloud, from Modus 25, when Cloud enters the field, select up to 2 of the 4 following actions. Choose the forward, deal it 8,000 damage. Choose 1 monster, break it. Choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's break zone, remove them from the game, draw 1 card, and play 1 category 7 character of cost 4 or less for your break zone on the field. So we have a legal target for to choose a forward, and we have 2 legal targets for choose the cards in the break zone. And the question is, I break the forward in response, so there's no target. Does the whole cloud effect fizzle? The answer is no, because there are still targets. There's still 2 targets in the break zone. Remember, you must have a full set of legal targets to stack the ability, and then you must have at least 1 legal target remaining for the ability to resolve and do as much as it can. If there are no legal targets remaining, then then the ability leaves the deck. Seymour is coming down here. He's going to dull freeze. Warrior of Light and your Stola. Looks like there is no wall special to protect them here. And then probably discard a card from hand. Looks like we're going to get the Paladin. A little pally-wally, dude. We're slamming these judge calls today. Alright, there we go. I did check it and it is right now, so that's good. Alright, cool. We're back here. Now DJ's got to get through this. Now Une's just sitting there. There's nothing that the Warrior Light deck can do to stop Une. You're not going to be able to break the Une. You're not going to be able to get rid of that bag up. So they're just going to have to sit here and kind of deal with this relentless onslaught of these things getting flickered every turn. Oh my god, that, well, flickering Titus doesn't really work. It's just funny to think about. Him also on top of this whole water strategy. We even have the Braska, dude. We're going all in on the summoner stuff, which is kind of fun. Howdy, howdy, returners. Here's my note for missing last week. Oh, brother, it's fine. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and we'll file that in your portfolio. And that way you won't lose your perfect attendance record. It's all good. And last week we were getting ready for Winter Cup. We went out to the Winter Cup and we clapped our opponents. And then we have returned back home. And now we are basking in our glory. He didn't miss much. What did we have win last week? Let me go back and look. Oh, we had Richie take it with the Fire, Lightning, Wind deck where he was taking advantage of the Terra. Dude, I really love that deck. I think that Terra card is so cool. Unfortunately, I did not do well enough to get myself the full art Terra this weekend, but we tried. Neither full art Terra. Was it cold? I saw someone wearing shorts. It was cold enough that Kageyama was almost exclusively tweeting about how cold he was. Yeah, it was single digits for sure. Wind chill was below 0. Lots of snow. But you know, it's I just tapped back into my northern roots and I survived just fine with a flannel. Didn't have to bring a winter jacket or anything. Congrats on the Winter Cup results. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Mono Water Dancers is real. I would refuse to be told otherwise. Although, people cannot deny me anymore, dude. Alright, we've got Leo coming down for a little DSC. Maybe he's here to be part of a big blast. Yeah, we've got the Ferris. Did we just rip that one off the Leo? Because that's pretty great. I got the leaked photo of Kageyama eating popcorn. Dude, the popcorn was great, man. Again, I cannot say enough nice things about the store. Excellent location. Besides, I mean, the physical location geographically, awful. Awful. No offense to the people who live there. Not a vacation destination. And not the place I want to be traveling in February. But, the store was great. So, shout out to the store. I missed when. You guys remember when the Winter Cup was in Florida? Can we go back to that, dude? I liked that. Ferris is gonna go ahead and just put the juice on Seymour here. And what are we? Oh, we're searching that Warrior of Light. Are we gonna pitch 2 cards and play Zach? Is that where we're at here? Or we're just offering the trade on the Mog 6? There's no way, my man. Do we have Limit Break left? Yeah, we do. We could probably Zach, right? I mean, it sucks. You want to keep the things in hand to protect your guys, but like, I mean, I don't know. We're dead anyway, right? This is looking really bad. I mean, we're at 4 damage, 3 left. We just turned this thing sideways for some reason. We should have left the Mog up, and we should have pitched 2 and played Zach, killed the Seymour, and gone to the next turn and just hoped that we could have used 4 blockers to block these 4 things and not just get them all dulled out of the way. Because I imagine that that we're just going to get these things scooted. Oh, he did take the trade? Sure. Interesting. I mean, maybe he figures... See, no, the thing is... Just take the damage. Like, he's not going to kill you. Take the damage and make him pay to kill the Seymour. You just let him kill Seymour for free, basically. I mean, sure, you maybe play another one, but... He Stola kills the Seymour on damage. Oh, when he takes the damage. Thank you. Sorry, this your Stola's on the field. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. This is why you shouldn't be talking about something else and then half watching a game. When the damage is taken, he gets to assign the 4K. The old catch-22 Mog attack. I mean, I literally still think I don't know, man. I still think you have to play Zach and kill it because we needed the blocker, man. Instead of having 2 blockers, we have 2 cards in our hand that we can't... I mean, I guess we can protect with Warrior of Light so that these guys can hopefully not get dulled. But this dude whose deck is... The entire premise of the deck is to fill it with ice summons. We think that this guy can't, like, use, like, free Shiva or something, and then we try to wall special, and then he uses the buyback Shiva twice, and then we lose. Like, we really think there's a world where this isn't going to happen right now? I think we needed to play... If we have Zach and Limit Break, and we could have pitched 2 with the Warrior Light we got, maybe that's... I mean, we'd have 4 blockers, and we'd have killed the Seymour. But then we also wouldn't have no protection, so... Maybe making him have 2 summons, like specifically a summon before the... Specifically a summon before... What you call it? Maybe Light Wall, yeah, that's fair. Like, he can't pay. I mean, I think he would have used it, though, right? Because he just had his 2 guys... Yeah, maybe he, like, literally just topped it. And then searched for the other one, so he's got 2 Warrior Lights in his hand. There are none in his discard pile, so it could be true. Unfortunate part of playing, like, the Super Rainbow. Having been in Western Pennsylvania my whole life, I wholeheartedly agree. Oh, I'm at the location? Yeah, man, I mean, hey, look. I get it. I don't have any particular Raleigh pride. I mean, obviously, you know, I have some pride for the store and our folks, but like the area, the city itself, like I'm a tourist here, man. I mean, yeah, I've been here for Jesus 4 years now, but still a Jersey boy at heart for sure. Voting for Winter Cup in Kansas, middle of the states, never too cold, only a few miles. I mean, I wouldn't hate that, you know. Well, here's what really should happen. There should be 3 Winter Cups, bro. At least 2. I was really upset we went down to 1 instead of went up to 3. And shoutouts to the people who are having those having the Winter Cups in their own stores, man. Like the Shiva Winter Crown tournament. And they had their own Winter Cup event over on the West Coast. So shout out to the people who are... Did they say why? I mean, well, the person who organizes all those tournaments got let go from the company a number of months ago. So I imagine that they are doing the minimum viable... I mean, honestly, we're lucky that we got a Winter Cup. if you want to, you know, if we're being straight. So, yeah, I just think that the logistics are more challenged than they've been for a couple reasons. Was a wonderful, fun weekend. Oh, Muhammad, it was so good to see you, brother. What does that look like for material cups and LQs? I literally cannot tell you for the same reason. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We can only guess. This was my first Winter Cup I attended. Just started back the game a couple months ago. It was a blast. Definitely wish there were more. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, the Winter Cup is a really good time. It is certainly like a community celebration too, so the vibe is just right. Not that the vibe is ever off at the Final Fantasy events, but there's like, you're just playing for like a stack of stuff from the Square Enix merch store. Like, yeah, there's the foil sets and stuff like that, but all the other prizes, it's all just kind of like, we were all walking away with our Swords to Plowshares. We're doing decent and feeling good about it. You know, you got it for signing up for the events. You already felt like a king, right? Like, we're just chilling. It was a great time. Everybody, the vibe was just right. It's crazy that you're not a Square Enix employee. Why the fuck would I want to work for Square Enix? You should think about that for 5 seconds. Why would I want to do that? It's not crazy that I'm a Square Enix employee. I would laugh in their face if they tried to hire me to do that job. Never do I want that job. Since everyone asks me 800 questions all the time, well, look, I mean, that is unfortunately that's the side effect of the nature of why I don't want that job, right? Unfortunately, community is still one of the best resources you'll ever have in this game, and we're looking out for each other, that's for sure. You might want that job. Be careful what you wish for. Square Enix is a never meet your hero situation for me, guys. You know, it's just one of those things. Stars in your eyes when I was young, and dude, if I could go back in time and tell young me, if I could tell young me, I mean, sure, there's that, right? You work in the DMV, of course, right? You'd take the road out. But let me tell you, you know what? Let me give you a little. Let me hit you with a little inspirational story, dude. There's nothing stopping you. I work in the games industry. I didn't start here, and everybody that I know in this industry came from somewhere weird as hell. They came from making home appliances. They came from finance. One guy was a doctor. Somebody worked in like healthcare. I worked in an inpatient facility, like customer rehab. You got people who've done business. You got people who did games, left to do something else, came back to do games, left to do something else, came back for games. You know, you got people from literally every walk of life. There's no path that people take that gets them working on a TCG or working on board games besides just like trying to do it, man, getting out there and getting involved. So if you really are like, get me out of this, I would love to do something like that for a living. I mean, just like put yourself in a position where that can happen for you, because they're making TCGs left and right, brother. They're making them every day. So that, I mean, just food for thought. Like, these people are no different than you. Just make it happen for yourself. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you're not making buco bucks, but you know, you're doing something you love, and there's merit to that. So anyway, I'll get off of my soapbox there, but I'm just saying, you know, as somebody who was dealing with a little bit of imposter syndrome when I first came into working in the tabletop industry, which I don't think is too controversial to say. I think that's something that a lot of people have when they come into this industry for the first time. You start to realize that actually, like, a lot of the time and a lot of the effort that you put into the hobbies and the way that you approach them actually is relevant experience of stuff that qualifies you in ways that maybe you don't think about from like a professional angle. But that's all it is, man. Is people just want to make cool shit, and so they go make it. So just make some cool shit. I'm like 6'5", I don't need a soapbox. I'm 6'3", okay? We don't need to exaggerate the already tall truth. And I'll tell you what, it's not all it's cracked up to be. I would go down to 6. I would go down to 6. We were having this conversation over dinner on Sunday. I think the benefits stop once you get to like 6 feet tall, and you just start to get like downgrades unless you're trying to play basketball or something. It's all just detriments. Alright, so this is table 1, 2, and 4 done. This was this is our last match right here that we're watching right now. I would like to own a shop someday, but I don't have the time for that, or the scratch for that matter. I'll tell you, that's another one too, dude. A lot of people who own shops are just like people who already had a job for 20 years, and then they decided they just wanted to save their money and do something like that for a living for a few years instead. You know, it could be in your future. Could be in your future. Very much an overworked, underpaid gig, yes, for sure, dude. Absolutely, absolutely. Although I'll say this, I don't talk about work a lot on stream on purpose, but shout out to that store that I was just at this weekend in Pittsburgh. I was just about to call it West Horse Comics and Games, which is absolutely not what it is. Four Horsemen Comics and Games, because I keep thinking West Virginia. Four Horsemen in Pittsburgh, excellent HeroClix display. I was very, very happy to see their HeroClix display. I, made sure it looked nice, fixed a couple items, but yeah, overall, I was very proud to see it, and I actually ran into some HeroClix players at the store on Saturday, and I was able to talk to them about the game and see what they were playing, and I always enjoy, I really always enjoy that. That's really fulfilling. Like, that's why we do what we do, man. I do what I do because I want gamers to have fun game experiences. I just literally just want to make cool shit, and I want people to have fun. So I love watching people play with cool shit and have fun. Good stuff at the Winter Cup. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Never been to a game shop like that one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a couple like that are just wild, dude. Like Millennium Games in New York. If you've never been to that store, that is literally best in class, mind-blowing type of game store. Isn't HeroClix the minis game? Is there like an actual game to it? Yes, HeroClix is a competitive tabletop tactics miniatures game that has been around for 25 years, just about. Yeah, see, Amar knows. Yeah, Millennium, dude. Yeah, Millennium Games is crazy, dude. Travis over there is a nuts dude. All right, Tara is doing her thing here. So we didn't really get to talk about this deck much. So we saw Eureka playing something the other day that was a mono ice with Une, very cool. Abusing Flickering this Tara and her getting the summons to keep the kind of synergy. Like these two cards in and of themselves make sure you always have the ammo to do what you need to do. Greg actually taking it in a little bit of a different direction here and going in with the full summoner package, so far as even committing Nebraska, who makes the cost required to play summoners reduced by 1. So we don't see them here, but there is also 2-drop Una backup. There's also Unaleska backup. So there are actually quite a lot of summoner backups in Water and Ice. He does prevent or does reduce the cost of the backups as well as forwards, so you get those backups down to 1, 2 drops, which are really nice. And you get these kind of Final Fantasy X synergies sometimes. I don't think that we're deploying any of those here, but we are taking advantage of having some blue backups to pay for things like Titus's additional cost here. We have done Realm, dude. Dual element Realm never really sees much play. This is a cheeky one. This one does duplicate summons, which is kind of cool. You can also play monsters from your opponent's breaks on the field. There's no cost restriction on this one. Really, the thing that ever held this back from seeing play was that your opponent, like being able to rely on your opponent playing expensive monsters that are good to steal, is difficult. And if you're doing monster stuff yourself, like there's no synergy with this because it's taking your opponent's monsters. So you'd rather just play 5-drop Realm. This is a really neat card that just never really gets a lot of play because it's hard to find a spot for it. But it's cool to see us trying it out in this Water Ice list here. I thought about trying 40k, but I have life to pay and I can't drop 10k into a game. Yeah. So yeah, HeroClix is pre-painted plastic miniatures, so you don't have to paint anything. I know some people, that's what they enjoy about it, but it is kind of like you get your pieces out of booster packs, just like you're playing a card game. And yeah, it does have like a whole competitive game like to it. So, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that. In fact, I try not to talk about that on stream. I try to keep it separate. All right. So we've got Sergey's taking one for the team here. Trying to cut through. No, it's fine. It's not your fault. I just, you always gotta be careful when you work on this stuff talking about it. And they're like adjacent. The games are adjacent to each other. So I just don't want to get in the habit of, mixing work and play. That's all. Although they're so easy to mix. Yeah, shame. The problem with this Warrior Light deck is we need to win the game, and we have 6 damage to deal to our opponent, and our opponent has a whole lot of cards that make our dudes dull frozen, and this Siren is kind of preventing us from removing their guys easily as well. Although there are a lot of forwards in this deck, it's an interesting inclusion, the Siren. Now, we do have Warrior of Lights to kind of prevent our guys from getting hit with some of those summons, but I think that we're running low on that count as well. And it's been difficult for us to like hold cards in our hands, so it's kind of like whatever we're seeing off the top of our deck for DJ here. The problem with this deck is we need to win a game. I mean, well, that's exactly it, man. I mean, I know we're laughing at it like it's a joke, but like playing to not lose doesn't work. Like, you need to win. We need to find out how. You need to visualize like the turn that we win the game when we deal the 7th damage. What's that look like? Right? What does the board look like where we deal the 7th damage? Probably has a Gilgamesh on it. In fact, it's hard to imagine a world where we deal the 7th damage and we don't have a Gilgamesh, right? So it's like, okay, that's easy. Gilgamesh. Now, Gilgamesh probably needs to have 7 colors. Do we have 7 colors in here? Like, yes, we do. Okay, check. So, do we have Gilgameshes left in the deck? Like, 1, 2... Yes, check. There's one Gilgamesh left. Okay. When we draw the Gilgamesh... Oh, never mind. Just kidding. He's in damage. We're fucked. Game over. Okay, what is... So that's a huge problem, right? Because that's the way we visualize winning the game. So how do we win the game where we don't have a Gilgamesh? That's a much harder question. It looks like dulling all of our opponent's blockers out of the way, for sure, right? And then it looks like we need to have enough bodies to connect 5 more times. Dulling our opponent's guys out of the way, that's something we can do, right? We have Zeromus. So again, you start to just kind of work backwards from like, how do I fucking win? Because that's that part, how do I win? That's the easiest part of the story. I can figure out the end of the story. It's I dull my opponent 7 damage, or there's no cards left in their deck, right? There's only 2 versions of the end of that story that we usually end up on. So working backwards from there, not so hard. Well, we can't Shed Total blow up the field, man. We're nowhere near. Oh, you mean to like dull everything? Like I Shed Total? But yeah, we're tapped out here, man. Yeah, like maybe there's a world where like an Axe Star could dull freeze these guys and then play another forward, and then we'd have quite a lot of forwards to try to get through those last few points. Let's see, we got about 6 turns left. We did connect this one. So at this point, like Axe Star and then Axe Star free playing a guy is pretty good for us because we would be presenting lethal. And then our opponent is going to have, of course, the ability to try to dull freeze our guys out of the way. So the last most important thing we're going to want is a wall special to protect our guys. So it looks like we did have Tyvis. So we're going to play Tyvis here. And Tyvis is going to... Tyvis is going to do his thing. He's going to get Axe Star. Axe Star is going to do his thing. And he's going to dull freeze the Tyvis and the Warrior of Light. But he's also going to dull freeze Terra, Titus, Realm. And we're going to try to put all the damage on Siren here. And see if our opponent flips the top card of the deck. Now at this point, Greg actually only has 6 cards left in his deck. So him flipping these cards into his discard pile is going to be a problem. Is this the Unicorn Control Water Ice deck that's being talked about near the end of the Winter Cup? That's a lot of words, and I have no idea, but I do not see any unicorns in this deck. Seymour has come down here, and Seymour is certainly going to be able to dull, freeze the Axstar, and then Siren should be able to connect here for the 7th point of damage, unfortunately. Do we have the wall special to protect our guys? Is the last card in hand Light Wall? Show me Light Wall. Show me Light Wall. Okay, he's trying to dull freeze the Sarah, so we can crack Sarah now to animate Warrior of Light or something, at least to stand in front of the Siren. Then my man can dull freeze it again though, so maybe we want to... The 4 CP Seymour is gross. Oh yeah, because of Braska. Yeah, I mean, can be good. Braska's a 3-drop do nothing, so he takes a little bit of time to get that value back, and he's not really searchable in a super easy way. Yeah, he's a 3-drop. But it's cool because, again, so he discounts Ico, he discounts Seymour, and then I don't know if we're playing them in here, but there's the 2-drop Una water backup he could discount. There's the 2-drop Unaleska ice backup that people play, where we both discard cards from our hand that you can also discount to 1 CP. Like, there's some incidental summoner backups that people play that can get a discount too, plus in addition to the Seymour. Because the nice thing about that is you can use the Seymour, you can pay the 1, then you can use free cast Shiva, flicker him with the Une, and then pay the 1 again with that 5th backup. So it makes that really efficient. There's some decent Garnets, yeah, but there's not, I mean, no, there's really not. There's really not. There's a lot of cards with Garnet in the name. Alright, and this one is Greg getting it over DJ, so that is it. We are going to prepare the next round. Braska's like my customers, always looking for a discount, but he actually gets it, unlike my customers. That's great. Greg 7, DJ 3. Save, oh, winner, there we go, save that. Next round. No drops, right? Okay, cool. We've got Tyler versus Kurt at table 1, Logan versus Greg at table 2. Probably gonna go to table 1, see what's what. Let's get pairings over the players. Opus 11 Garnet is my favorite. Dude, that would be your favorite. Like a 4-cost do fucking nothing card. It's like, it's got big Rosa energy, dude. I'm just messing with you, dude, of course. My favorite card in the whole game is Opus 3 Garnet. That is my absolute favorite Final Fantasy TCG card. I won many tournaments with it back in the day. I top cut the first Crystal Cup with it back in the day. Opus 3 Garnet is my favorite Final Fantasy TCG card. The card is wildly unplayable by today's standards, but it's my favorite card. Why are people questioning? Oh, because I posted it in the wrong place. Thank you. I appreciate you guys giving me question emojis. And why do I have a tag, dude? Calculated, dude. Good thing I tagged you guys, huh? So everybody saw it. Okay, we'll put it there for posterity. And I'll remove it from results. You guys are smart, you figured it out. Braska 3CP seems a bit expensive for the return. You need to play 5 summoners after it to break even, right? Yeah, I mean, I agree. I did call him an expensive kind of do nothing that takes a while to get the investment back. But I mean, who knows? It's you say 5 summoners, but that's not really true, right? Because he gives you back a CP every turn that you tap him, just like any other backup would. So like, it's really difficult to get very specific and for that math not to be nuanced. But it does. I would say it does take a while, yes, before you actually get the value back over what you would be able to accomplish with a cheaper backup or a 3CP backup that did something or searched the card. Effectively, you could look at it this way. If it was a 3CP summoner that searched a card, Muhammad, right? Without an EX, let's say, right? It would have to discount 2 summoners because it's searching 2 CP. And even that's not 1-to-1, right? Because pulling a card out of your deck makes all of your draws for the rest of the game more consistent, and it makes, you know, there's so much that we can get into about the math statistics, but I do think maybe it's a little bit of a better comparison to say that for it to have the equivalent effect of a 3CP backup searcher that was not EX, you would have to discount at least 2 summoners after playing him for him to be equivalent to those. So that's a little bit more realistic, right? That feels like we've probably discounted 2 summoners at least that game. I think I like thinking of it that way a little bit more than I like thinking about the raw CP value and the discount as the same, like, weighted value. Feel free to disagree or argue with me about that. Table 2. No, we're not going to table 2. We're going to table 1. Tyler versus Kurt. Tyler has been cooking some crazy shit these last few weeks. I was hoping to see a Tyler Ray original. I'll tell you what, Tyler, you would probably really enjoy playing the deck that John played, that Emo Tempest played at the event on the singles event, day 2. It was such a fun looking deck. Dude, let me tell you, I wanted to build the deck, like, after turn 3 playing against him, I just wanted to go home and build the deck. I was like, this is sick. Maybe not exactly. I just want to start. He made me believe in the Emperor in like 2 seconds, dude. It was wild. I gotta try that card now. I gotta fuck with that card. Alright. Let's go ahead and remove those names. Let's get this up here. The Water Legend Emperor from this last set, man. Made that card sing, dude. Oh, what's funny, dude? I'm just looking at the stream and I'm seeing Burden. First of all, sir, Mr. Winter Cup champion, welcome to stream. Good to see you, brother, over on the YouTube side. It was such a pleasure to get to jam against you and meet you in such a fortuitous circumstance too on the last day there. But it's funny. It's so funny. I see that he is saying kind of exactly what I was saying there. As soon as you cast 2 summoners, it's basically the same as the 3CP search backup. But I mean, not any 3CP search backup, because a lot of them do have EXs on them. But yeah, some of them, like Brother, like Emperor Gestal, or not Emperor Gestal, but Gestalian Empire Sid. Sorry. So yeah, I think he's a little bit more like those cards. He just gets his value over time. He's like a rebate type guy. We got yellow cards. A lot of yellow cards sitting across the table from each other. This is Sid, Engineer Sid. Is this Final Fantasy 15 or is it Engineers? Okay, dude. Nobody is brave enough to play the Citadel, dude. The real ones remember Engineers Tribal, okay? Real ones remember my pains. Ramu, we're going to do. Oh, this is Hythlodaeus combo. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, we're doing it, dude. We played Hythlo, we played Emmett Selk, and we're Ramuing to give it haste, dude. And now we're using the tap ability, putting both of them in the break zone. So if you're not familiar with this, what we're doing right now is resolving Hythlodaeus' ability. You put Hythlodaeus and a card named Emmett Selk in the break zone, shuffle your deck, Reveal the top 4 cards and play any number of characters among them onto the field. You put the rest of the cards in the break zone. So they're putting all these cards into play. We got an electric jellyfish, which is another way to give somebody haste. So it's just more ways to make the Hithlo like pop off. Emmett Selk trigger here. He's gonna go search for Hythlodaeus. So now we can do it again. Poramak enters the field, we activate all of our forwards. Noctis enters the field, we get a category 15 forward. Other than Noctis in the break zone, we add it to our hand. Looks like we're adding King Regis to hand. Now we can pitch 3 cards here. Yeah, no, they enter play and then he gets rid of them there. So yeah. Real top card here, like play any number of characters among them on the field. Put the rest of the cards in the break zone. So those cards should be. Why did they all die here? Oh, he played Shantoto. Never mind. I was like, what? Why did he remove them from the field? I didn't even realize that he had passed the turn. I didn't even see that the other backup had been played. But of course, Shantoto is certainly a way to escort those cards off the field. I thought, so he only has 3 cards in hand. Okay, he couldn't afford to do it. I thought he was going to do the whole thing again right away. And good thing we did Shantoto there because we did need to have the... we did need to get rid of those guys before Electric Jellyfish started it all over again next turn. He says, never saw Shantoto cause a virtual mill 7 before. Yeah, well, hey. Duke Oltana enters, we're going to search for a knight. We're getting Ramza, which says he's one of those guys that can just another forward that can give haste to Hithlo. So it's all about getting that combo off here. Nobody playing dancers this week? I'm just kidding, folks. At the end of the day, I'm just out here trying to play Final Fantasy 11 cards. Claris is going to search for a king. Claris lives at home with both parents, and Claris' parents have a real nice marriage. I'll be right back 1 second, folks. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. We are back. We are back. I believe for 5 minutes turns into a mono earth snooze fest. Not quite. One of these is a Hythlodaeus combo deck. It just got reset by Shadow so far, that's all. I was working in the airport. It was fine. Yeah, they had a Primanti brothers in the airport, so that was great. Yeah, we just did our thing. I'll tell you what, their airport was really nice. They just opened it back up. It's brand new. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, especially upstairs, it sure looked brand new. It was really nice. Yeah, working in there was not bad at all. Oh, I know, brother. Trust me. I've I've driven the length of Pennsylvania. You go Route 80 and just keep going. It's no fun. I don't wish that on anybody. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to crunch too loud, dude. My dinner was late because they dropped it off at the wrong place. And they had to redeliver it, dude. Alright. Noctis versus Noctis, dude. I'll tell you what, neither of these cards see a whole lot of play. Interesting to see them both on the field here tonight, sitting across from each other. The Prince opposed. Did I ever drive out for a Pokemon regional? Pokemon Nationals used to be in Indianapolis every year. Well, now it's in Columbus. It's the same difference. But I would drive from New Jersey all the way to Indianapolis, so I would just drive the length of Pennsylvania every year. Back when I competed in Pokemon, they didn't have they didn't have regionals in Pittsburgh, that's for sure. They still had state championships, man. Is this a Cloud Ramza OTK? I think the Ramza and stuff are this is like a Hythlodaeus combo deck, but I bet Cloud's in here. Like Cloud Pod Cloud? Probably in here. Take advantage of all this nonsense. Yeah, he's definitely there because of Jesse. I think I'm going to try to go to NAIC this year. Hey, yeah. I tell you, it's still a really good time, and the production value is insane for Pokemon. If you've never been, you should go. I mean, I used to go to Pokemon Nationals every year when it was my game I competed in. You know, 2008 to 2018. Don't think I missed a year. These days, I just go to, like, hang out. My friends still always ask me every year if I want to go, because they still go. You know, so sometimes I go just to see everybody and have a little vacation in, like, New Orleans or wherever it is, if it's in, like, a fun city. All right. So, these are two very strange decks to have up against each other. We have what looks like a more modern Mono Earth with a Wind Lean from Kurt over here with the retainers in it, which is interesting because all the retainers got new cards. Plus, there's so many playable versions of them, and they're all like they tutor each other. So I feel like you can have a really toolboxy 15 deck where you can get different versions of these characters if you know like which version is good for different scenarios. You can really take a lot of people off guard. And so we're doing that kind of stuff over on Kurt's side of the table. Meanwhile, on the other side of the table, on Tyler's side, we've got, crazy Cloud Pod, OTK, Ramza shenanigans. All these extra hasty people. We've got Hythlo combo stuff going on. There's Emmett Cell going to get Hythlo right now. We're going to combo right now. Just trying to get them all, kill everybody with the Cloud stuff here. Yeah, so we're playing Hythlo, we're shooting Noctis with the Hythlo effect. We're gonna dull the Ignis. Now attack with Noctis actually trigger, oh no, never mind, I'm thinking of the wall. This is when he forms a party and attacks. Is the thing. He doesn't actually get anybody back anymore. Like, they're just attacking there and ending the turn. Interesting. Yeah, I forgot. Electric Jellyfish is haste when he comes into play. I was thinking of Coeurl, right? Is lightning one you can break to give a guy haste? Or is that also when he comes into play? Is 1 CP Goblin the only thing you break to give a guy haste? I gotta look up Coeurl now. I know you guys are going to answer in chat before I get to the picture, but I'm looking it up anyway. But you do put it in the break zone to give them haste. Okay. So I think I was thinking of Coral here, but these give haste when they enter. So he just puts them in the break zone to dull the forwards, so to make a little room for Noctis to deal some damage there. Squeezing the damage in where we can here. Is this new Gladi? Gladi Daddy? Yeah, new Gladiolus. And oh, new Ignis there, so we do have like the split. So new Noctis comes in. New Noctis lets us search for two Final Fantasy, or two retainers, sorry, and adds them to our hand. Plus he gives retainers plus 2k, so this Ignis is walking around 11k, just standard power. Oh, the Regis getting to play the Noctis is cool too here, right? So Regis enters the field, he plays the Noctis in the break zone, Noctis comes in, he searches for two of these guys, we go get Gladiolus, and this is a different Gladiolus also. And now Prompto comes in. Now we've got everybody is here. At the beginning of the attack phase during each of your turns, if you control a Noctis forward, Ignis forward, and Gladiolus forward, your opponent selects one forward of the highest cost they control, put it in the break zone, draw a card. So this is actually going to trigger to kill the Hythlodeus here, which is very cool. I mean, this is neat, right? Mono Earth with all the new 15 synergies, new Noctis Legend, the new Prompto. Oh, and we have an extra Noctis in our hand for Armiger as well, I believe, because we searched for one. Pretty cool stuff here. Oh, Billy Bob trying to target Hythlodeus, so we are going to misdragon the break zone and say, no sir, not today, William Robert. I'm going to send Billy packing. Yeah, that's important because we were going to try to get, I mean, all this deck is doing over and over again is trying desperately to do the Hythlodeus thing because it's the unfair thing the deck does. It also would have given us back that 6-drop to play to trigger Emmett, and then to fire 8k damage on one of these guys. But of course, Noctis is just making everybody so big. And these guys are 9s. I think the only guy you can even kill is Prompto, and who cares, dude? Oh, Noctis also can attack twice on turn. It's pretty cool. I guess it's worth killing Prompto for that reason alone, then. I like this a lot, man. I like these new Final Fantasy 15 Earth Forwards doing their thing. I mean, the chain is just so it's like Regis into Noctis into two of the boys. And you can even Regis into Noctis into a Gladio that you could still play to search one of these other guys out, or Ignis I think also searches. Oh no, maybe he just searches Noctis specifically. Babadoo beep bow. Another Mist Dragon! This time just to prevent damage to a forward during a little trade here. Tyler realizing he's got to push to deal some damage, and you know, Kurt's just got some huge dudes able to just kind of step right in front. So we used Sonon to make Noctis smaller, Billy Butt bigger. Then we used Mist Dragon to make it so that Noctis would not take the damage this turn. However, we did dull Noctis so that the unfortunately Prompto is not going to let him attack that second time this turn. I know we've got Regis on Regis, Noctis on Noctis. A lot of Final Fantasy 15 representation here this week in round 2. At the other table, we got Logan versus Greg. And whoever is over there will be playing against one of these yellow decks in the finals this week. Alright, we attack, we get through, and Ignis is going into damage. It's okay, he's already on the table. Eyes blind at all, dude. We're going to flip a Prompto, another Prompto into damage again. Don't want to draw those cards for turn, since all of our action is kind of on the board. Is this going to be a main 2 Shantoto or a main 2 wipe of some kind? Neo Exeth? No. Yeah, Shantoto and then overpaying from hand, unfortunately. Hajma. Oh, it doesn't matter that we're doing this in response. I mean, it's just kind of for fun. Name one job or category. 15, he says. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck out of the 2 characters that name job or category among them to your hand. Return the other cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. And it looks like we can check any 2 of these 3 cards now, since we said 15. We're going to get Noctis, who has the S ability. We're also going to get Ignis here, it looks like. What does this Iggy do? Oh, he's gone. Let's see. If you control Noctis, the cost to play was reduced by 2. Still 2 active. Oh. 2 active retainers. Choose the ability choosing a retainer and cancel it. Interesting. Alright, so those guys all get RFG. Not a lot left in the deck here for either player. We're in the home stretch now. Probably got results coming in from the other tables. Oh, only table 4 so far. Where it looks like DJ has emerged victorious over Brendan. 7-1. Alrighty. Bro, we are playing a for fun game, and I have the OG Zapped on my board. My life is complete. Hell yeah, dude. Old Zapped. That takes me back, brother. Doing Ramu synergies with the new Ramu card that cares about how many Ramus you play. It looks like a table 2 Logan got it, so it'll be Logan in the finals this week against the winner of this game. 7-6 over Greg at table 2. Sounds like that was a close game between two killers, no doubt. Ugh. Chat, why are there so many games? Why are there so many good games to play, and I don't have all the time in the world to play them? Also, why do I just keep playing the same game from 2004 instead of playing any of these awesome new games and then complaining about how I don't have time to play any games? But I've got this, talk about the value from Braska. Yeah, we were chatting about it a little bit. We were chatting about it a little bit. We were basically equating to him, we were equating for him that he is effectively the same as searching for searching for a card after 2 discounts. Sonon. Yeah, he certainly just makes the Seymour math a lot easier and more efficient for you. It's similar to why like Evray is just so good with him, like Wind Ice type stuff. Buddy Daddy, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, these guys they're thickum. They're all +2. Gladiolus has got the extra +1 in Brave, so he's a 12k Brave, 9k Regis, 7k Prompto, 12k Gladi Daddy, 9k Noctis. Everybody's just knocking on the front door. I'll tell you, the problem here is that Tyler's out of deck. He can't do combos anymore. He just kind of has to play off the top, which is not what this deck wants to do. 7 cards left in his deck, 3 cards in his hand. I think he's going to have a hard time getting through this 12k Gladiolus, not to mention all the rest of the retainers here. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-da. So we're sitting here still staring down the same dudes. Do we have? Oh, never mind. This is over. They wrapped it. He scooped it. He scooped it. I didn't see. All right. We are now pairing next. Then he did a scoopers, folks. Well, actually, table 3 is still going. You head over there. We're not actually pairing the next round. Table 3 is still playing. Oh, goodness, what's happening here? Final Fantasy 4 stuff, including Zeromus, which of course is a 4 card, against Final Fantasy 8. Final Fantasy 8 has been seeing a lot of play recently, very popular. I think it's a popular game. Final Fantasy 8 fans have been waiting a while for a deck where you can just put all the dudes at the table together. Finally here. Ah yes, Brian playing a Cat 4 deck. Yeah, who would have thought? Look, as a fellow creature of habit, I can't speak. Respect. Yeah. I'll take what is Brian playing this week for 400, Alex. With 4 versus 8, so squared versus cubed. I see you, I see you. Cypher is attacking. Now he must choose somebody, mustn't he? Are we paying 4? Exactly, Greg, exactly. It's not like I'm not gonna play dancers until there's a good reason not to. Still waiting for the good reason not to. They printed Portia, dude. What a card. Oh, we are paying the 4. Discarding Selfie and Adele. Give you the thought process of why I took dancers this weekend? Because the deck didn't get any worse, and people are running around being greedy and doing shit with cards like Seymour, and I'd rather just not deal with it. Yeah, probably just, I mean, it's just a good, what do you mean, why would I take dancers? The deck's incredible. The thought process went something like this. Has this deck gotten any worse with the new set? No. Are people doing more ability stuff and being greedy about it? Yes. And then, did this deck get any new cards? And the answer was like, not really, but I put 3 Schultz in anyway just to see how he feels. Literally me seeing how Schultz feels for the first time was this tournament weekend. So... he's a cool card. I don't know. I wouldn't play 3, but you know, we were just fucking seeing how we liked him. So, what the hell? We went with 3. My stuff can't be targeted either. Correct. That is why. Whenever. So here's the real mentality. When I revisit dancers, whenever the meta is heavily focused on abusing abilities, and I think that as soon as they showed Clive Ifrit, I was pretty much like, yeah, I'm just gonna play Mono Water Dancers. It's very, very good against Ifrit 16. In general, it just makes it hard for them to ever get much value out of him, and then it's very easy to remove him. So it's not even just Mayakov. So Mayakov says no to Ifrit, but then they tunnel on removing Mayakov, and then they, you know, you can use the other, you can use purple Lillicet to dull Ifrit so that he doesn't get to attack after he comes in to remove a guy. You also can use purple Lillicet's S ability that says the next time dancers would receive damage this turn, it's 0 instead. Or not the next time, it's for the rest of the turn. If they would receive damage, it's 0 instead. So like they play the Ifrit and you just S ability, and then what? They can't attack. Like, because you have all these things. I mean, they maybe do, but if you have purple Lillicet out, again, you use the S, and then you tap him down so he can't attack, right? Okay, so let's say you don't have purple Lillicet and you don't have Mayakov. Let's say you have 3 CP Lillicet. Well, guess what? All you have to have is another copy of Lillicet in your hand, and he can't attack into that Lillicet without killing that Lillicet with the Ifrit ability, because you can pump by 2 and shrink him by 2 and block it favorably. So then they got to use their Ifrit removal on the thing that like searched a card that you would rather play the other version of anyway. Seems fine to me. Also, you could just let Ifrit kill 2 things. There's a pretty good chance that you flip EX that's relevant. And then the next turn you can pay 1 CP to kill it with Ash, or you could pay 2 CP to tuck it with Portia. Tucking with Portia is so good for so many reasons, but especially against primed guys, because you remove the Ifrit from the game and put the Clive back into their deck. So you you reduce the quality of every draw that they have potentially for the rest of the game, and you remove the forward. It's just like, it's very strong. Plus, you draw a card back to hand. So, yeah, Ifrit just gets. There's so many ways that you come out on top, and there are so many people abusing Clive and Ifrit right now. Same thing for Seymour. Seymour cannot choose your dancers. He cannot choose your dancer backups also, and you've got removal again. Tyvis, very easy to remove with mono water dancers. What's his name? I just talked about Seymour, very easy to remove with mono water dancers. It turns out that you have 6 different copies of cards that just point at a thing and kill it, and that's before doing any of the board-wide damage-based stuff or combat tricks or any of that stuff. That's just talking. We're just talking about 3 copies of Ash and 3 copies of Portia. So, yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of game, and I really enjoy it. One-sided board wipes are really, really strong. And the deck is really, really good at finding one-sided board wipes and then making it hard to interact with your stuff. So that is basically the thought process behind it every time. Whenever one-sided board wipes and ability dodging are good, would I be willing to share my Dancer's deck list? It's been shared many a time as I have topped events with it, and it's been posted online. You can go on Materia Hunter right now, and you can check tournament results, and you can see it. It says 5th place from Tuesday, although I did go 6-0 and then lose in finals, but tiebreakers gave me 5th place. So was on a pretty good run with that till Burden stuffed me in the finals, dude. But even then, I would just say I had pretty bad luck, and normally that can go a lot better for me. Although his modifier deck does not have Ifrit, which actually is good for him when he's playing against me. So it's interesting. But yeah, you can see the deck is on both of the tournaments posted from this weekend. There's the teams one and there's the singles one. The only difference between them is I was trying a Piranha on Saturday and I cut it to put the Tomos back in to be a little bit greedier for Sunday because Sunday was a singles event and there was no top cut, so being a little bit greedy is how you do better in an event like that, where you got to run hot and just go 7-0, you know? Mayakov is weak to Amaterasu, which is why you have so many things that you can try to bait Ama with in the deck, right? Realm almost always gets an Ama, so if Mayakov Lilith locks the game down and you can get them to Ama the Realm and then immediately follow up with Mayakov, you're usually fine. You can also threaten removal with things that are so inexpensive it makes no sense for them to Amaterasu them, but sometimes you can get them to use it anyway. And then that opens the door for Mayakov or Realm. So there's a lot of things you have to do to come out on top of the Ama game, and usually it can be okay. But my man he turned one, searched for one, had the second one in his hand, and like drew the third. Like my man, he was just sitting on it, dude, and that's how it goes. I sit there and I can normally make him do it and still come out on top if I can just set up normal. But I did not get the ability to set up normal, and knowing he was parked on 2 Amas meant that I could not use Lunafreya or Luso to get myself set up. So unfortunately, by the time we got going, we just didn't have enough time to win. So this one is 7-5. Looks like Brett takes at 7, and it is going to go to Brian. So let's go ahead and get the last round of the day paired here, Brian. 7-5. My Ama and Kadaj look on Sunday was absolutely insane. Oh, Kadaj, I was ready for it, dude. I toasted that fucking dude. He didn't stand a chance. 1 CP Kook, replace the card. 1 CP Ash, gone, dude. To be fair, I saw that you were playing him and running around with him, so I kept the Kookalane in my hand, waiting for the Kuja. I knew to hold a Kookalane because of him, dude. So I specifically, like, starting from maybe even it was either the first or second turn, I knew not to pitch Kookalane because of that fucking guy. That's respect. That's respect right there. Alright. We're pairing the last, rather. The Ama, dude, not much I can do about the The 2 in the opening hand. I mean, what I can do about that is to force you to use them. But forcing you to use them when it's my only play for the turn and I don't have a follow-up is just called losing. So I didn't really want to just lose on the second turn. Might have been his only death in the whole tourney. Look, dude, yeah, I mean, hey, look, man. I don't let people get away with that kind of stuff. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's one of those cards I was like, man, that could be really annoying. And I was like, well, I could use the Dancer, backup, or the Kuka Lane to remove his ability and then just kill him the next turn with Portia or Ash. So I should be okay. That is one thing I really like about the deck is those really annoying guys where they put them on the table and they basically say, hey, if you don't kill this guy next turn, it's really bad for you, right? Seymour, Tyvis, those types of cards. You actually do have a really good amount of efficient stuff that can deal with those guys almost as efficient as they are. Like, Tyvis is a crazy efficient card, right? You pay 5, you get a guy back, and the guy you get back usually is played for free, and sometimes even plays another guy for free or searches another guy. Like, you basically need something with the equivalent value of 1 CP Ash, kill that guy and develop a 9k, or 2 CP, put that, like, bury that guy and draw a card. You need something that's that efficient, otherwise those things are just going to steamroll you when they play them. So, having something efficient to do back that removes the threat, that doesn't disrupt my game plan, is one of the things I like a lot about Mono Water. I'm basically just addicted to 6 CP Ash and Portia. Portia's an absurd card. Alright, this time I'm not posting it in results. Thank you, brother, for the ashes. Of course, man. Everyone should have a playset of Ash. I love Ash. I love Ash. What a good card. Yeah, Brian. You reacted to it. Yeah, dude. Of course, they are sick. You got anything crazy from your boxes, brother? Or are you holding on? Oh, what Final Fantasy 9 blind dude did you get? Amaranth. Sick. The one you wanted least, yeah, sorry. The only wrong answer, no. I'm sorry about that, brother. The only one I knew you weren't gonna get was Zidane, because even though Square Enix calls them blind boxes, if you order one, it has one of every dude in it. So, but they're just like, they're all packed into the shipper, and technically they're not marked, but you should get one of everything. So I knew you weren't gonna get Zidane. That's the only one I knew, because I already gave that one away. That's why I asked who you got. Now I know. Alright, just waiting for table 1 here. Tyler versus Logan. I got a new mention. Are the pairings right? Kurt just won and was 3-0, and I thought... Hold on one second. Let me check, Logan. Thank you. Did I put it backwards for Kurt's results? Round 2, did I put round 2 in backwards? He's like, he was 3-0. No, he was not. But he might have been 2-0. Kurt versus Tyler, I put your result in backwards. I'm sorry, thank you. You are right. So let me delete the round. And that's fixed. There we go, winner. Next round. Where did we slipped into Persona 3 music, dude? Hell yeah. Sorry, it should be Kurt versus Logan. That's right. Thank you. You know what? Everybody's getting the Winter Cup experience right now because we're getting a repair.
Stop living dead when your heart's beating still. No slowing down for me, I'm never gonna chill. Every low phase, I ride it like a drill. Abide by the rules, but outshine and prove.
Should have known there wasn't a pair down. Yeah, there should not have been a pair down. Sorry, final should be Kurt versus Logan. Thank you guys for calling that out. Thank you, Logan. I need one more to relive it. The repairs are crazy. I think the first one on Sunday was pushing 20 minutes. No disrespect. It was like 120 people that use the software, so I get it. Yeah, man. It's, it's not the software so much as it was just people causing the problems and not checking the list that they posted like 4 times. But the thing is, like, you can post those lists 7 times. People just aren't gonna, they're not gonna look, man. You just kind of gotta... Unfortunate, but you gotta do what you can. Do I still do leaderboard stuff? Yeah, brother. You can see, I didn't do weekly results for last one, but I keep a tally, and I posted the results at the end of the season, including the prize tiers and everything. Yeah, it's all still cooking. You need one more repair. He needs another repair. Alright, I got it. We're on Persona 3, dude. I love Persona 3, but we gotta swap back to Final Fantasy, dude. Alright, there we go. Hey, Tyler, you had 10 points on the leaderboard for last season that ended, it ended in the end of November. And if we look at our event schedule, we've got all the way through a month from today, so 4 more events in this season today. I can see about, we can get a little update there, show everybody where they're at right now on the leaderboard. Alright, I should have been showing this game. We did the repair now, so let's go ahead and get in there. They're probably already jamming away. They sure are. Table 1, okay. Oh, table 4 didn't have a repair, that's right. They're the same people. Alright, here we go. Oh, look at that. We skipped the first few turns, but they were just getting all set up for us, and they're ready now. Alright, here we are. It looks like... Is this a Mono Lightning, Logan? Oh, shit. It is Mono Lightning, including The Returner's own spoiler from last set, Arden here. This was my spoiler last set to share with you guys. We did, of course, get another community spoiler to share with you this year, or this set, rather. Please look forward to it. It is definitely going to see play. And I am excited to talk about it and share it with you guys, probably in 2 or 3 weeks here on stream. They said the first date that they said that it was okay to start sharing community spoilers, I think, was the 23rd. So, and they want them all done by like the 3rd week of March. So probably going to be either the 25th or the 4th on the stream here. We'll let you guys know in advance, and we'll do our usual little spoiler reveal. It'll be fun. I love that Arden, it says. Dude, I think he's a really cool card. I think he's really neat. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I just like drawing cards, man. I'm addicted to drawing cards. Any game, doesn't matter what the game is. I just want cardboard rectangles in my hand. I want to draw more of them. 2 weeks away. Oh, look, I'm sorry. Look, I can't show you next week or now. I'm not allowed. So you have to wait at least 2 weeks. That's what they said. That's what the boss man said. The nuts is Zonde Arden, dude. I mean, hey, yeah, sure. If we're up to that. If we're at the point where we're resolving those guys together, we're winning, right? We're living the Model 80 dream. Foxy Jira, I'll tell you, it will be worth the wait. Let's say it's a card that will slot right into. If you had this card in your binder today, many gamers would have played it over the weekend. So excited after the Winter Cup, geeking for more FNTCG. I feel that. I feel that. I think that you are not alone. This is it always gets everybody really excited. It kind of like wets our whistle for the upcoming competitive season. Yeah, Chris and I will be recording a podcast episode tomorrow. I know, hell has frozen over. We will be talking about Winter Cup and recapping. Holy shit, dude. On Eagle's wings, dude. Fail Thanos entering the field, breaking all active forwards, getting a full team kill, getting a fucking wipe on the boys, dude. An absolute slaughterfest. Insane value from Fail Thanos, folks. You'll never see it like this again. 6 CP Fail Thanos just fucking killed Noctis, Gladiolus, Ignis, Prompto. Sheesh! Oh my lord, break all active forwards. Yeah. Goodbye, bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye now. So this is a good question. Kurt says, can I tap the Ignis to use his ability without having a target? And the Ignis' ability is Dull 2 active Job Retainer. Choose one ability that is choosing a card named Noctis or Job Retainer you control and cancel its effect. No, because you would need a legal target in order to use this ability. So what is cool is if we had our own ability that we could have used to target our guys, we could have targeted our own guys and then used Ignis' ability. However, not worth it. No official way to do that on the table. So unfortunately, we just lose the squad. That is a full wipe, and then it goes back to Kurt's turn here. Yeah, that'll do it, dude. I'll be right back. Oh! Oh, alright, I'm back. I hope I didn't miss anything too crazy. I just could not hold it any longer. I had to run to the old Western room, dude. Dude, Man in Black, you know, I actually had to play against this guy this weekend. But remember what I was just saying earlier about the Dancer deck is very good at removing those sticky guys who say, you have one turn to kill me. So thankfully, we're always able to play a Portia or a 1 CP Ash to remove this Man in Black the turn after he came down. So he did not get to stick around and be a menace. Yeah, I did have to. I played against two different Chaos Arca gamers who, unfortunately, unhappy to see the only one color I was presenting to them to interact with, and especially with that color was water. Lulu. Wow, dude, man, we haven't seen Lulu since woo, sheesh. 2018, dude. Lulu is just an anthem here, pumping all the lightning forwards by 1,000, giving Man in Black the 1k he so sorely needs to reach that 10,000 power to get that 5 digits on his card like he wants. Interesting to run into a finals here this week. It's Mono Earth Retainers versus Mono Lightning. You know, I think we're really just still in a very wide open, play whatever you want, off-season type of groove until we hear about these upcoming events and until we see cards from the next set here. Dude, I am glad that we got to see kind of this Mono Earth Retainers thing happening. Yeah, this is not good for Kurt. So Kurt just runs out Ignis, breaks it back up, kills it forward, gets everything back, but the fact that he's down to 3 here, if this is just an Arden, like Arden just snaps off the Ignis and draws, like reveals the top card. So that's 5. Yeah, it goes to 7. Yeah, exactly. Play the Arden, kills this guy, reveals the top card, adds it to your hand, and then sets up your, sets up an engine here where he's just sitting there. Yeah, so we're going to add the Sage to our hand. Now, if we've got Ramu on deck, when our opponent plays it forward, we can just zap it and then trigger the Arden again. This could be very cool here from Logan. And he's got these Odins already tucked away, man. So he's ready to go on the kill. How many Odins are in the breaks room right now? We've got 1, 2. So this is a 4 CP Odin. 3 CB Odin. It's funny because we're going to cast the 4 CB Odin before our opponent. Before Kurt passes the turn, we're going to use this Odin on whatever forward he plays. And we're going to replace the card in our hand when we do it too. Man, that's so good. This is really neat. Alizé obviously is just here as a way to get your backup set up. Probably backup Lightning Alizé, backup Lightning Alphino, and Luçois. Arden up to 10k because of Lulu. This is insane flavor too, huh? This is kind of wild, actually. Final Fantasy 15 fans, I hope you're enjoying this week because you're eating good. Sithing back. The Gladdy Daddy. The father, as it were. A Badiolus. Boom boom cap dooba down. Since it got you, could I inquire about your deck? The absence of the Urianger backup, was it not required anymore? It was never required. We've been playing this deck without a lightning source for ever, the whole time. He does absolutely nothing, and there's no way to search for him. I don't need him. He doesn't help me in any way. There are way too many absurdly good backups, so I'm already not playing in water to play that guy, and that's all he's doing for me in that deck. It's not a water lightning deck. Yeah, I actually don't think that he actually is any good in there. I tried him like one time, and I was just mad that I had like this 2CP do nothing card instead of like Artemisian or instead of Alchemist or something. I would probably so one change I would definitely make after this weekend is I would go down on a Schultz and I would go up on either one Alchemist or I would put Artemisian back in. Artemisian is just such an all-star in this deck, but I do think that it's incorrect to not play one free play water backup guy, especially with Luso in my deck. It lines up there's a lot of lines you can create for better Ashes and for better Dancer backup board wipes with the free play guy. But the one thing about that free play guy is that he is another unique named thing, so there's more guys that can get in the way of backups. But that's why we play 3 Loporrits, because you can break the Loporrits to make room for the guy that wipes the board over and over again if you want. Yeah, we don't need Urianger. Mono water deck mostly. You can play Lilithset by either pitching another purple Lilithset from your hand, not ideal. Off Myakov, obviously ideal, or using the Lena backup special to raise her onto the field. But yeah, ask away, dude. I'll talk about that deck all day. It's one of my favorite decks to play, obviously. All right, so we've got a just generically good lightning card here in Irvine. Irvine, of course, he does see some play in the Final Fantasy VIII decks, but he has no 8 synergy. He's just a good, like a really, really good lightning card. He comes in, he interacts with the break zone of your opponent in a way that makes sure that you're getting rid of the biggest threats, and then he gets some haste. He's just really hard to remove. He's very resilient. We're going to kill him right here, or attempt to anyway. And we're going to search out Gladiolus, and we're going to pay him for 2, and then he's going to blast this Irvine. But Irvine, you know, he did plenty, and he'll do some more again in the near future here. We did keep 4 backups up, which is interesting. We just wanted to keep those cards in hand. We didn't want to just play Irvine off 3 backups and then have 6 cards in our hand for turn. But it does mean that we're going to be... Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't respond to Noctis's search by killing Noctis with whatever summon is that we're going to use, like either the one that's removed from the game over there, that Odin or something, because by not responding to the Noctis search, it means he'll get to just play the Gladiolus and then he'll do the fight. Although, to be fair, you can just kill the Gladiolus and he's... Is it a past... It's a fight, right? Let me check the old... Deals damage equal to its power, yeah. The forward is the source, though, yeah. Okay. It's not there, it can't do it. Oh, we got the Odes. 3CP Odin gonna break that draw card, man. Feels pretty good. Logan just really efficiently running Kurt out of house and home here. Kurt almost having not enough cards left to find 7 damage. Remember we talked about this earlier and we kind of laughed about it, but I mean the problem with Kurt's deck right now is he needs to win, dude. You remember being in a previous iteration of my posted list. Yeah, it might have been, or it might have just been something I was talking about doing. I literally only tried it one time, and I didn't like it. But I think I mentioned, I think somebody was asking if I was trying any of the other stuff this set, and I think I said the only card that Dancers actually got this set was Uriander. But I was wrong. The only card that they actually got this set was Schultz. What a cool card. But you don't even have to play that guy if you don't want to. And honestly, there might have even been a reason for sorry, just reading the chat from the players here. Yeah, there's probably reason to try some other water stuff from the set, honestly. I just I haven't really been playing, dude. I just assumed, you know, Dancer is still good for all the reasons that I like it. It's not to counter anything specifically. More the way that I usually play things is I pick things that are good against the way that people are currently playing, or like what, you know, the play style is. So right now is very ability heavy, and we're just trying to punish that, you know. We want ability, it's ability heavy, we want to disrupt that, and we want powerful targeted spot removal, and one-sided board wipes, and those 3 things exist in that deck, and I find that those things exist in other decks. I mean, I really like Mono Earth. It also usually has access to one-sided board wipes, toolbox type strategies, and single target spot removal. I like a lot of those types of decks. People value different things, and those are things that I like. Oh, Lightning Limit Break getting her flowers, dude. Turning sideways, dealing damage on top of getting that someone back in the hand. Sheesh. Things are feeling pretty good here, man. We've got this Arden has drawn us so many cards. Not this specific copy, but this card in Arden here has drawn a lot of cards for the Mono Lightning player this game. Neo X said now removing the entire break zone of Kurt from the game. That's going to hurt. Then triggering his ability, 25 characters even just on Kurt's side, so there's going to be a backup getting sacked here. I'm surprised. I mean, I guess maybe we don't have more than one Shan Toto in our deck, but you definitely share. Like, I'm surprised we didn't sack the Toto because you can then play Limit Break Toto, which you still have access to, or play this backup Toto again. But again, that's all playing not to lose, and really the writing's on the wall. Kurt has 3 turns, 6 cards in his deck, and he needs to find 7 damage. I have a very hard time coming up with a scenario where he is able to present lethal. Just saying, man. Not to be mean. It just seems really hard. It seems like a tall order. We need to play 3 characters right now, and they need to stick for 2 turns. Or we need to play 2 forwards now that stick, and then play another forward next turn, and he sticks. And everybody sticks, and there's no removal from the Mono Lightning deck that has most of its Limit Break left, and an Odin parked on the side of the table, and a Neo X-Death in play. And I mean, this is... Kurt is being the people's champion, and he's playing through the game for the stream. But the writing is on the wall here, folks. Looks like this is going to be a Mono Lightning victory this week, and that is a pretty cool thing to say. I did not think that sentence would be leaving my mouth. So, guys, I mean, not for nothing. Small sample size, right? Sure, blah, blah, blah. But in the world where there's all these really powerful decks, all these really powerful multi-element decks, we just watched Mono Earth versus Mono Lightning in the finals today, and the finals on Sunday was Mono Water versus Mono Fire. Pretty interesting. I mean, that just leaves Mono Wind, which we saw win the tournament on Saturday, actually. Right? Mike Powell playing a Mono Wind deck. And he said he went undefeated, basically. He went 9-0 or something on the day. Then, that just leaves Mono Ice, and Mono Ice was certainly represented this last weekend. Now, it didn't necessarily, I mean, it didn't win, right? It placed, for sure. And we had players in the room who won all their games of Mono Ice that day and who were doing well in Mono Ice. And in general, I think everybody agrees that there are some pretty real versions of Mono Ice out there right now. So it's cool that really, of any of the colors, I would argue the viability of Mono Lightning. And Logan is just kind of showing me right now why there's not an argument there, really. And this is just kind of, it's kind of a real and relevant strategy here. I love that. I just like being able to check in on every mono element and say that we feel pretty good about it right now. There's not often times where we get to say that. I mean, that's just some beautiful diversity before we're even talking about element combinations or things like 4-color Warrior Light or Wall 7 or any of those types of decks. Love that variety. Odin, 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 piles of Odins. Yeah, speaking of, by the way, I talked about my experience, but huge shout out to the Raleigh team. The other boys from Raleigh who were there, Dorian's team, of course, Captain Finn, leading his brave squadron of Mike Powell and Nick. Dude, Nick also had a great weekend of cards, did really well. He got, I think, 9th on day 2. They won the tournament the first day, so shout out to the Raleigh locals. Super proud of my boys. Love all the people here at Game Theory. Was really happy to see that they were able to finish their plate since we got knocked out in top 8, the other team. So, very cool. Mao, what is going on? Welcome to chat. Man in Black is back. He's man in back, dude. We're the Gooch Smoochers? Alright, dude. We're getting all up in there. We're living in the space between. The lands between, you might call them. And that is deck out here for poor Kurt. He's scooping it there, and that is going to be a win for Logan. Mono Lightning taking it this week. Actually, not even the yeah, Kurt just conceding there, knowing that it's done and it is going to go to Logan. So Mono Lightning and Logan taking it this week. Absolutely love that. Honestly, I kind of wish that we got to see a little bit more of this deck. Although this was a nice long game, we got to see plenty of the Mono Lightning here, but it's just so interesting. I almost wish I got to see more than one round of it here tonight. But very, very cool from Logan. Congratulations for winning this week with Mono Lightning. Even throwing back to fucking Lulu and stuff here in the list. Love seeing this. Yeah, Mono Light Nizzy, absolutely. Giving it over here to Logan this week. Congratulations, and Kurt, I loved seeing this Mono Final Fantasy 15 deck in the finals. I think the retainers are really shaping up nicely. Like, the toolbox nature of the deck's really cool. You're onto something there, and I really like seeing this Mono Earth Final Fantasy 15 deck as well. So, very, very cool from both these players. Honestly, dude, the Fail Thanos backup wiping the boys was crazy. That was huge value for Mono Lightning. It was all downhill from there. All right, we are done, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words over the weekend. If I ran into you, if you introduced yourself to me, if I just saw you for the first time in a while, or if you were one of my homies from the Discord and we finally got a chance to meet, it was such a pleasure. I always love going out to these events, especially to new areas. I've never been to this store in Pittsburgh. Super cool to come out there and meet that crew. Everybody was so nice. Shout out to everybody for their food recommendations, for the store, the staff, the team who did the streaming, Corey, Amar here in chat, all those guys, Mike Byrne, and all the judges, Ike. It was so well run. It was a really fun time. And I really appreciated being able to just play in the event and have fun this year. I know how hard it is to do those events and to work them, and to feel like at the end of it, like yeah, I was there for the event, but I don't really remember much of it. It's kind of like a blur. Like, you didn't really get to like hang out with people the way you normally do, and it feels like you were like more tired at the end of the day than you thought you would be. It's one of those things where it's kind of like you feel like you blinked and you missed it, and it feels really good that everybody else had such a good time, but you can't help but feel a little bit at the end of the day like you missed out a little bit on some of the good times. So I was really appreciative that this year a different store was able to take up that mantle, and then I was able to come out and have a good time, and I loved it, man. And obviously obviously I enjoyed it and I had a good time, and it worked out for me. So thanks for giving me an opportunity to play. Thanks for hosting an event at a cool new space for us. And yeah, that's that. I'm going to be recording a podcast episode tomorrow, so please look forward to that, talking a bit more in depth about the Winter Cup and my matchups and stuff specifically. But otherwise, that's it for us this week. Congratulations to Logan for taking it with Mono Lightning. So cool. And we will see you guys next Wednesday back here. Same spot, same bat channel, same bat time, all that jazz. Yeah, right here. Bye, guys. Thank you. Happy to make it through. Mal, yeah, hey, look, I know that you just got here. You just got here, and we're wrapping it up. But it was a great weekly if you want to go back and take a peek. But we are done for the evening, folks. We'll see you next week. Bye.